Hello and good evening, and a warm welcome to everyone. I have with me today Rebecca Huber. Rebecca is from Germany. She lives in Munich, and I've known Rebecca for many years. The first time we met was at a gathering, a course of the Mayan lineage that also has a lot to do with extraterrestrials. So this Mayan lineage, I'm very deeply ingrained in this Mayan lineage, and they teach something that's called light language that is very different from what other people think of as light language. It's a language they actually learned from an extraterrestrial. This was, I don't know, maybe 200 years ago or so, that the people in the neighborhood of the village in Mexico, they brought this little man who fell from the sky to the curanderos, to the healers, and because they didn't really know what to do. And a friendship developed between the healers and this extraterrestrial little man who fell from the sky. And he learned to speak their language, and he also taught the curanderos his language. It's a fascinating language. And actually, I will be teaching that in October in Kenya for 2 weeks, while also doing CE5. And you're most welcome to join us if you wish. It's going to be a tremendously intense and eye-opening course. But back to Rebecca and our joint path. We met at this course, and we talked, and every once in a while we'd meet here or there. And particularly there was a ceremony that we did with another man from a Mayan lineage called Pascal Kingroib. We did that ceremony on a mountain called Untersberg, very near to Salzburg. A very interesting mountain. The Dalai Lama said it was the heart chakra of Europe, and there are strange things happening there, things to do with timelines. People disappear and reappear 50 years later, and there's talk of a very special stone in there. So that is where we started talking about ETs. In fact, Rebecca, you were the one who approached this subject, right?
Yeah. Hello, Una. Hello, everybody. It's so great to be here. And yeah, it's really fascinating because I love the Untersberg. It has such an energy. It's beautiful energy. I like to be up there. And it was an interesting time because ETs and the contact was always very private for me. And then I started to talk about it. And one of the first persons I talked about it was Una. And it was on the Untersberg. And yeah, after that, we had a journey together with the ETs.
Do
So,
you remember what you actually asked me?
no, I forgot.
I think it was something along the lines, do I think ETs exist or something like that? Sort of
Hmm.
out of the blue. But I remember that moment, that energy of we're talking about something that most people don't talk about. And I'm picking up the courage to actually address this. And that's right. We then both, for the first time, went to a CE5 gathering.
Yeah.
You want to share your experience?
Yeah, you were searching the internet after that, and you found a group, a European group. And so together we went to Tenerife for 1 week. And it was really so great to be with people from around the world. I mean, there was even someone from South America. And so every night we went under the stars and yeah, we did meditation and it was a really great experience. And I had very intense moments and I saw some light bulbs. And yeah, it was really another step on my journey.
When you say light bulbs, can you just explain for those people who don't know what we mean when we say light bulbs, what that is?
Yeah, light bulbs is there's suddenly a really bright flash and it's very big. So it can't be a airplane or something. It's really getting very big and then it's gone again. And like a short hello from above.
Yes, and sometimes it comes in three
Well,
flashes or another number. Yeah.
yeah.
This atmosphere that happens when we join together in these groups for a few days, it's a very, very special atmosphere, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah, for me it's first of all it's a preparation. So I'm connected to ETs all my life, but it was always private, as I said. But I think why I am here, at least, is to be part of this process that we get really in contact and be prepared to get in physical contact. And so when we go together in groups, we really prepare ourselves. So it's more possible for us to be able to hold the energy of this shift when we really meet an ET for the first time in person. I think that's quite a shock for most of us, a little bit. But yeah, in these groups, we can prepare ourselves. So I like it very much.
Yes, and it's so nice to have somebody next to you where you can hold on to them if and when something actually happens. But it's also what I find, these people are so interesting, and that creates a wonderful atmosphere where all of a sudden everybody can relax, because most often at home, you can't talk to your family and friends really about these
Mm.
things so much. Most of us can't.
Mm.
uh, let's go to your childhood. You say it was very private. What is that like what did you experience, and why did you not talk to your parents about it?
Mm. Yeah, actually, it started so early. It was really my personality was not really fixed. It was, I don't know, 8, 9, 10. And suddenly I was standing under the stars and I felt such a longing for them.
You were
And
physically standing under the
yeah,
stars? Okay.
yeah, in front of our house. And I saw up to the stars and I started to feel such a longing. And it was really, I didn't understand what was going on. Just the feeling they are not here. And it was the question, why did you leave me here? A little bit like the E.T. in the E.T. film from Steven Spielberg. And I really wanted to call home and tell them, come and get me. So, and
In
I
that
don't know, it was just the people wouldn't understand. It was such a different environment than we couldn't talk about it really.
Were you alone out there? You walked out of the
Yeah.
house and you stood there all alone?
Yeah. Yeah, it happens quite often really. I really liked to watch the stars and see the universe and I felt something really. I
Mm.
felt connection and that beings who are very near to me are not with me. So there was longing and pain. And then this, this, I don't know, this feeling and the feeling, the reality at home, it got very big. And so I started to shut it down because I was afraid it's too much. I wanted to be like everybody else.
Mhm. So you shut down your feeling of longing and making contact.
Yeah, and the feeling of sensing beings who are not physical present,
Mhm.
because I could sense beings who are not physical sometimes, and it was not always pleasant because it's not only ETs. I mean, there are so many non-physical beings here and in other dimensions. And yeah, I got afraid because there were some not so good energy there. And also, I really wanted to belong here, of course, in my family here and in the environment here in school. So I said to myself, I'm just imagining and I want to get along here. And tried to shut it down. But of course, it didn't really work because at night I was really connected again. I'm sometimes I get conscious at night. It's a little bit the shamanism really was very good later because it explained a lot. So sometimes I would get conscious and I would be in other places. And it's still like this. I see other buildings, I see other nature, I see other beings. And it's really, for me, it's a very beautiful experience.
So when you say you wake up consciously, is that like astral traveling? You suddenly feel like you're on a different planet and you are, of course, fully there. I know what that's like. Yes.
Yeah, I don't really know if it's astral travel or I don't know. I can't really explain it, but at this moment I'm conscious and I look around and I see something and I get in contact with others and we do something together or and suddenly it fades again and I'm sleeping again and I get unconscious.
So the others can see you.
Yeah, I'm there with beings and sometimes they are really different. And sometimes, I don't know, I think everybody knows this. You see a face, like it's your brother or a friend, but the energy signature is different. So you see the face, but it's another being. It's just perhaps you're in the same relation, like your brother or your friend.
Mhm.
And that's very interesting.
So that's okay. So that's a similar being with a different signature. So you're when you tune into that, is do you think it's because your mind is creating it that way, or do you think
Mm.
that someone else is creating that holographic overlay so that you will
That's
trust that person?
a really interesting question. And actually, it's something very actual in the ufology scene right now that you know probably because like Robert Fleischer, who's doing a lot of contact with NHI, non-human intelligence, and there are many testimonies that you see something that's familiar, but I don't know, either they show you something or your mind makes something up that you can grasp.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's funny because when I'm aware of this, then often they shift and they look different suddenly. So they really can shift, and it's very, very interesting.
So we could call them shapeshifters in different dimensions.
Yeah. Or my mind or they shift or I don't know. It's just really very, very interesting experience. It's like an adventure.
Yes. And when we think of it as an adventure and excitement, there's no fear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's faith we have in all is well, no matter what, all is well. There's no fear, there's a lot of excitement and so much to explore in this universe. So you said a few things that you had, was it bad dreams, or I can't remember the expression you used, where the
Yeah.
experiences were not that great.
Yeah, this main connection is like family. It's for me like a soul family or beings that are very close. And then I had some experience who were not so nice. It was as a child also for a few months. I would go to sleep, and on this transition from waking to sleeping, there would be something I experienced like monsters. And it would be really a little bit like torture. I was asleep,
Mhm.
but it was really strange. And I would wake up and be very, very afraid. And I really couldn't remember much from this experience always. But at one time I saw something like scales, like a little bit like dragon or something. And so for a few months I was really afraid to go asleep. And I didn't know what to do. Of course, it didn't work as a young child. I don't know. It was 10 years or something. So I started to pray at evening. And so I don't know what happened, but after a few months, it faded away really. And yeah, it just left me. Though it was really great.
And again, you didn't speak to friends and family about that, about the monsters and the.
I think I told it once, but it was, yeah, the reaction was, yeah, you have a bad dream.
Mhm.
But I was really, really horrified.
So here's where, fear can be just fear because it's fear of the unknown. We don't know what it is, but it can also be a fear that's instilled in us because it's that kind of energy frequency that is being emitted. Somebody actually wants you to be in fear.
Yeah. Yeah, I had this impression. And later, as a young adult, I had some more dreams. And that was really interesting. It was like being in a laboratory, but it was like a normal scene. I would wake up again in the dream, and it was a scene, and somebody else was with me, and we were exposed to emotions. And I always had the feeling somebody's watching us and wants to see how we would react to the intense emotions they would expose us to, or that they would watch how we react to the emotion or how we react together. So it went on for a few months again. And then I really started to say on a conscious level when I was awake, I don't want this. I don't want to be a laboratory mouse. And it really helped. Again, after some time, it faded away. So that was a really great thing
That is
because it
so
was not,
interesting.
yeah.
So, one of the points you're making is that nothing can happen to us unless we give consent. So once you withdrew that consent, I'm not a lab mouse, I'm not a guinea pig, uh, it stops. And that's also, some people call it praying or they do it through prayer. You did it through saying, this is what I don't want, like a martial arts type, which is very difficult to do when one is in fear. This is, but I'm fascinated about that experience. You were with another person. Who was that other person in the lab with whom those emotions were being looked at?
Um, the other person was like a mouse, like me.
Was it a human being also being experimented
Yeah, I
on?
had the impression it's a human being who is just put together with me in this environment, and then we were exposed to some emotion, and they just checked how we would react.
Because this is, I'm going to uh, say something I've never said before publicly. I wrote a book on emotions, as you know, and I had the feeling that I was asked to write a book on emotions so that a certain type of extraterrestrials could understand how emotions work. I was wondering whether I should put that into the foreword, and then I didn't. And it's still, I'll be teaching these emotions again because it's a really good 3-day course in November in Germany. Uh, but it was because the ETs wanted me to. So this is the first time that I hear that somebody else had this experience that the ETs are trying to understand how our emotions work.
Mm. Yeah, it seemed very interesting for them, and they really wanted to know how are you reacting on this emotion and on this emotion, and yeah.
I'm I'm speechless because this is really, really, really good information. it just confirms a lot of what I've learned and what I know, and that when we stay in our heart and we have no fear, but we have faith, then all is well. And I was thinking about this today, actually. This fear, we accuse other, or society accuses others of having fear. For example, during the last 4 years, we were divided into two groups socially, and each accused the other of being in fear. So the ones who took the shot said, "Oh, you're," to the others, "Oh, you're afraid of taking the shot. Why are you so afraid of?" And the ones who didn't take the shot, they accused the others of being afraid of getting sick. But it's really the frequency, right? It's the vibration of why you're doing something. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Rebecca, this is wonderful.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't know. I think I talked the first time about this as well. It was just when I was thinking about today, I was thinking, what do I want to tell? And it just came up. So very interesting.
well, is there anything else you'd like to share? It's rather than me asking questions, maybe you can just go directly to what you are ready to bring out into the open.
Hmm. Well, took me some years really to come back to all this opening channels and to experiencing. And this last years, it even goes deeper because there's sometimes, I don't know if you know it, but when you get quiet in meditation, something opens and it's like you can look beyond this incarnation. And of course, so I can see my connection with the soul family. I call it like this. Please don't take the name, but the souls who are very close to me can see the connection. I can see our um, yeah, connectedness, and I can see a little bit more of yeah, beyond the incarnation. I mean, of course, in shamanism, you do quite a lot at this too. But it's so great to just have this opening. So you're not anymore only in this lifetime, but you see it all is connected, and you really are preparing together. Because I have the feeling I'm a little bit here like a pioneer, and the others are on the other side, and together we prepare this next level, or we are a little part of this next level of humankind to get in this connection with beings from other star systems. I mean, for me, it's so natural. It's like when you go in the kindergarten and you're only in your village, but then it's time to go to the next kind of school and you go to another town and you meet other people. And then you go to another country and they speak different languages. But it's so natural when you grow up. You just broaden your vision.
Yeah.
And I really want to be part of that. And so I was very courageous last year, and together with another woman, we started to create a YouTube channel. We called it Aus anderen Welten, from other worlds. And we created it or we planned it for a few months. And in November last year, we went online. It was German speaking. And so for me, it was a next experience level to really not only talk with other people about it, but to go online about it. And I learned a lot of technical things, things I not really wanted to learn, but I had to, like cutting and everything. But I also learned how is the scene right now, because I was still very private on it. And when I looked in YouTube channels, sometimes it was so dramatic. It was about the bad aliens or the very, very good ETs. But I saw there are people who are really very normal about it and who really want to bring this consciousness about ETs and UAPs or UFOs to the people. And so this last month, it was so nice. I had many interviews with you too, Una. It was really great. And I learned a lot about the people who really are a little bit like me, who want to bring consciousness about this and to really help turn the tide so that the collective is conscious about ETs, about that contact is imminent as I feel it. Yeah, so it was a really great time. Unfortunately, last week, very actually, we had to shut it down. But yeah, I'm planning on doing a channel for myself.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited about it. I'm just planning to do that.
Well, I know once you've created that follow-up channel, your own channel, you'll let me know, and I'll be able to spread that news, especially because I was excited when I heard that you were doing this, because the German scene is very low key, maybe not even low key. It's just not comparable to the English speaking scene. It's almost not there. It
Always like
compares.
sleeping, like
Yes. So
really still in the sleep. And still, there are some highlights. I mean, there are some people like Robert Fleischer or Harald Havas who really do great job in promoting the topic and make it very normal. But I just call it normal. It's even not so dramatic because sometimes you see, oh, ETs are here and what now? And it's really all dramatic. And I think that's not the real message, right? Because we want to meet somebody, some other beings, and we really want to meet them and not, I don't know, whatever.
yeah,
So I like that. And there are some private organizations really who, like the GEP, who make the UAP what's Forschung,
research.
yeah, research. And we have like a university in Würzburg who has a little department that's doing research on UAPs and SETI. So
Wow.
that's really a highlight. There is this Professor Hakan Kayal who is really doing a great job and bringing it down on Earth level. And yeah, I'm really impressed. And they have a conference in September, and I can go there. I wrote to them and I was invited, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, that's fascinating. I didn't know
Yeah.
all of that. Yeah.
And the newest thing is really, I just have to look, but it's looking in English. There is a joint UAP reporting center with the IFAX, that's the Department of the University in Würzburg, and the German Federal Aviation Office, ABR. And that's really, for me, it's really quite a big step because I think many people are waiting for an official acknowledging. And that's a really step that could prove very vital for this, that pilots can now report their UAP or UFO sightings because there's still a lot of stigma for them.
Yes.
They need their flight license and they're afraid to lose it until now when they talk about it. And now it's more official, and perhaps more people, more pilots are talking about it.
Well, I've heard that pilots were told, with some airlines, that pilots are told not to talk about it if they see anything.
Mm.
Yeah. That's so great to hear about Germany,
Yeah.
and it's there's also this university in Prague that
Mm.
is holding uh, a UFO conference every November, where I'll be talking in November. So that's two things already. It's the German ones in Würzburg and the Czech one in Prague
Hmm.
that are doing something public. Tell me more about what's happening in Germany. What is this Würzburg? What is this thing in September that's happening? It's a conference.
Yeah, this EFEX, this university is making a conference where people speak about UAPs.
Like what kind of people? Is it international
It's
speaking?
more like science
Okay.
because it's a science university, so there are people from science, and you have to get invited. So
To
I wrote
attend.
to them. Hmm?
You have to be invited to attend.
Mm.
Okay. And like what kind of research? Because who's researching UAP apart from this little department in Würzburg?
Yeah, there are some from US, of course.
Okay.
I can give you the link, and you can
Yes,
see last year's speakers.
please do so, and
And
then I'll
there
put it in
are
the
a
description.
few scientists who really do research in Europe and in America. So yeah, it's really interesting. I really wanted to check the list because it was quite a list, and I really want to know more about it.
So isn't that interesting that it is actually public disclosure has actually happened, but it's not in the media, it's not in many people's consciousness, and it's
Mm,
it's it's almost like we're a split society,
yeah.
like we were split in 2020 or 2021. This is another split. Some people just, for some of us, it's normal, it's natural, we know about it, and we'd love everybody to know about it. But then there's that part of society that just it just doesn't go into their consciousness.
Mm. Yeah, and even if there are some news, because this joint UAP reporting center, it was in the news, but still there are ripples, but this crust of unconsciousness still remains.
Yeah.
It's just dripping in, and seemingly nothing happens. But I think something happens, and even more in this last few years. And we all wait for the dripping point that
Yeah.
it will get conscious. So
And it
I'm
becomes,
looking
yes.
forward to it.
And
I
it's
think.
when I think about it, all these indigenous peoples that I've visited and gone to, they all know about it. There's no question about it. They have their stories. There are tons of stories.
Mm,
Mm, everywhere, north, south, east, and west, everywhere. It's just in this Western society, pretty recent, that it has been shut down. Because I recently saw stone tablets with pictures of UFOs tumbling to Earth, with pictures of other type beings, and this is Stone Age stuff that has been
mm,
found recently in Europe underground. So it's obvious it was in our culture too, and then it was shut down for some reason
yeah.
that we don't quite know why.
Mm. Yeah, and the same happens in Egypt. There's just right now, it was a study of some underground thing, and the Egypt government didn't follow it up, and you don't know why, but perhaps we need some new energy.
We need some
That
new
really,
energy. But
uh,
one of the reasons that why this might be shut down is because if we really knew who we are, we would be so powerful. And
mm,
one of the things that I've learned from various people is that there's certain things that we have that ETs don't have. So, we tend to look up to ETs and that they are uh, so much better and more advanced. But one of the things that we have, for example, is range. So, with our consciousness, we could telepathically speak to someone on the moon, speak to someone in another galaxy, but ETs don't necessarily have that that range. And another thing is, of course, emotions. We have emotions, and if we know how to use them, and we've been taught
mm,
completely wrong how to use them, um, we could use that as an advantage. They are very useful, all of the emotions that we have. So, yeah, fascinating. Let's go back to the soul family that you were talking about. I'm curious about that. Do you actually see individuals, or is it sort of a general feeling of being home?
Yeah, it's interesting because I realized my main contact is feeling an energy signature. So in the last years, I try to contact them during daytime, not only nighttime, because that's more, I don't know, I can try to do it more on daytime. And how I feel them is that I feel the special energy signature of somebody. So I have a few, and when I feel them, and I see like pictures, and inside it's more holographic pictures, so they communicate with me. It's not a picture with two dimensions. It's just something that communicates emotions, feelings, whatever.
Downloads.
Yeah, downloads really, even language. And actually, telepathy, I find quite difficult still because when I have a topic I want or don't want something, then it's overlaid with that. So the most pure communication is really with this energy signature or with the feeling, this holographic pictures. And with this very near souls, I see different bodies because I think we know us so long. But when I started asking what is my origin, it was always serious. And this last month or few years, I have a special connections with the felines, so with some lion beings. And yeah, it's just what's coming always when my vision is getting wider, and it's very beautiful.
So you don't have the need to give them names. Somebody else would connect
I
the
think,
energy signature with a name, but you don't.
yeah, because names, I think we had so many incarnations together, it's just not fitting. I always, it's more unique for me to feel the signature than to have a name.
I love that because there's always this thing about naming. And what they tell us too is that they read our energy signature, and our energy signature is that which then can open doors or not.
Mm. Yeah, and it's just what is, it's the most true impression for me.
Yes.
So it's really,
Yeah. And I think that takes a very, very sensitive person like you who really tunes into energies and feels the difference, because most people have been um, numbed to energy, and that needs to awaken again so that people actually realize, oh, that's an energy. I remember my mother saying to me, what do you mean when you say
mm,
energy? To her, energy was something that comes out of the socket.
mm. I think we all do it, but get conscious of it. That's, I think, something different. But we all have a feeling when you close your eyes, and I think of you, Una, or you of me, we all have a feeling about that. And it's not an emotional feeling, but it's a feeling of this, it makes you, your energy unique.
Yes. Yes, that's a very good way of explaining it. I love that. You don't need a name, you just feel that person. You just feel your grandmother who has
Mm,
passed away, and you just remember that feeling, and you don't need a name.
mm.
Yeah. Mm. So Germany, is there anything else that's new and exciting in Germany that's happening apart from you about to create the next channel and going to the conference?
No other from that. It's really only highlights right now, and I'm really hoping that more is coming.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we will see. I mean, right now I always talk with people. It's just my way of one on one. I talk to them in my company. And
Wow.
it's so funny because most people are open. So, like in former times, somebody is ridiculing you. It's really not so much anymore. When I talk to them, and it's always a good opener to say, "Do you really believe this whole universe is only for us? We are the only conscious being in the universe," and everybody says no.
And it really is about consciousness. We often go out and do CE5 and we want to see ETs, and we very soon realize that it's about the consciousness. I learned to meditate through CE5. Before that, I didn't know how to meditate. I didn't think it was for me. So, yeah, the consciousness aspect, just
Yeah, that's
blowing
what's
your brain
connecting
to,
us.
yes, that's the bigger we become in consciousness, the more we become one.
Mm.
Yeah.
So one thing that is what I'm working with right now, and I would like to hear your perspective, is the fact with the timelines. Because as I experience the world right now, it has a very wide range from like regressing really to this new potentials that are there. And though I heard people saying probably the timelines will divide. So we will get more and more on different levels of how to perceive the world, how on energy levels, whatever. So I really was curious how you see that.
Goodness, that's a whole university course I could give here on time. Let's
Mm,
see how I speak about this. So time is not linear. Most people have heard that phrase. So even if we have different timelines, different lines, it's not really lines. We have space that's three-dimensional, and inside those three dimensions of space, we have three dimensions of time. And you know that time is inside of space because, um, let's say I'm sitting here very still. Time passes, but space doesn't change. But if I walk from here to the door, time and space changes. And then, let's see, maybe we could talk about bubbles. So there's time bubbles. And maybe you've experienced that too. You're almost all of a sudden you feel like you're in a different world. Everything feels different. And maybe on a hot summer day, and you feel you've been transported into a different time bubble. So that's probably the best way I can find to really explain what it actually is. And then when you think of the construct that we live in, that is space and time, I see all of that as, we can call it the matrix, we can call it a simulation, we can call it a game, and we are inside of that and operating inside of that. What's outside is no time, no space. Very hard to imagine when you're inside the game. So it's, as a visual, you could imagine it as a field. So the big thing is a field, and then inside that field, there's a lump of time space. And
mm,
there's other lumps of time space that are some, maybe constructed a little bit differently.
mm,
And reincarnation, from all the research I've done, is staying in that time space. So we die and we come back within this time space that we are in. And to really exit this time space, there's certain techniques to do that. Yeah. Okay, Rebecca, does that work?
Yeah, it's an interesting perspective. I I just remembered something. I was on a 1 week seminar about astral travel in June, and it had such a high energy, and we were like spiraling upwards and upwards. And suddenly I was on a total new what I saw, and I was in contact with beings from other dimensions, and it was just easy, like I would talk to you. And it was so great. And then I went home, and slowly the energy went down again, and suddenly it was not so simple and easy anymore. So I think we are all going on different energy levels through our life, and then we have a total different perspective sometimes, how we see the world, how we which beings we are connecting with. It's really, really interesting.
Yes, yes, and I love the hand motion that you made. We almost undulate and build up this energy to then almost like on a trampoline jump off and eventually land back on the trampoline until we figured it out. And by the way, what I explained with the three-dimensional time, this is ET information that I've just shared there.
Information, could you repeat, please?
Information from extraterrestrials,
Ah,
direct
mm,
communication, not that I received, but somebody else,
mm.
somebody well known has received. Yeah, we'll just leave it like that.
It's like sometimes I look at myself and when I'm in this 3 dimensions and in my normal working space or something, then I think, oh, it's quite hard with life. And then I see sometimes it's all widens, and I see myself that I really wanted to come here, and I said I want to go, and I really can feel that and see that. And so, like you say, with the bubble, and I think we are inside and outside, and can see both. So it's really funny sometimes.
Yes, yes, yes. And one thought I've had about time is that we are moving to like an hourglass, we're moving to that 0 point time where there is no time anymore. And then there'll only be space, but no time. And that moment is when we do need to stay in the heart, which is what the ancient ones have said to us. You need to absolutely stay in the 0 point of the heart, which is a portal, to be able to get through that 0 point where time has collapsed.
Yeah.
Mm,
And I
goodness.
think it's so important right now, really, to stay in our own frequency because as I experience Germany, it's really very turbulent right now and a little bit regressing on this main level. And so I really have a try very hard to stay in my frequency because I think that's the most helpful for everybody when
Would,
we are in our frequency.
would you say your own frequency, would that be something that other people would call your soul?
It's my truth. It's what's coming now intuitively. It's really it's my truth. How I yeah, probably it's my soul. It's my truest
Mm-hmm.
frequency.
Yeah, your truest. Yes, yes, the truth
And I
of who you
sometimes,
are.
as a child, I learned to adapt to my environment because otherwise I thought I'm wrong. And I really have to counteract that right now, that I stay, okay, the environment is like this, but what I feel in myself is like this, and I stay in this. I think that's really the way of growing up or being the master of yourself.
Yes, that is so, so, so true, Rebecca, because we've been we grow up, or most of us grow up in a confusing world where we actually, our intuition tells us one thing, but society tells us something else. We see one thing, and somebody else tells us that what we're seeing is actually not true.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that becoming sovereign and becoming
Hmm.
very deeply ourselves. I love the way you say that, Rebecca. It's just, yeah, warms my heart too.
Yeah, sometimes I lay in the bed at evening and I just bless myself. And I think we don't do that normally. We bless other people, we bless other animals, but that you really, I think it has so much power, the blessing.
Yes, absolutely. And what we do to ourselves, we automatically do to the others, because we become a better
Mm,
person when we treat ourselves good. And
yeah.
being a better person helps everybody. Uh,
Mm,
yes. And here we're back with, it's all about consciousness. It's all about how we treat ourselves. When we treat ourselves good, we treat others good. Yes, Rebecca. I'm so happy we're having this conversation.
thank you so much, Una. It was
Yeah.
such a pleasure, and thanks
Yeah.
everybody.
I just also wanted to mention, you have a group in Munich, or do you want to tell me about that?
Yeah, we have a very small CFI group right now because I really love to be under the stars together and meditate and watch whatever is up there. So we try to meet once a month.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the weather in Munich is always so, but whenever it's possible. Last month it was beautiful, such a beautiful night and such a great energy then.
Yes, yes. Oh, yes. Um, do you take newcomers? If anybody's interested, do you have times or days where it's open to other people to come and experience?
Yeah,
Mm,
absolutely.
okay. And I'll, and how can people reach you?
Um, Perhaps we do my email address. I don't know. Perhaps over you because
Okay.
they have your. Because if I put my email address on YouTube, I think it's not such a good idea.
No, but people know how to connect with me. I'm
Yeah,
pretty public. I've got a website called
yeah.
unaferguson.com, and yeah,
Mm.
and anyway, it's in the link.
And if I have my channel, then you can connect me with the channel. I will let you
Excellent.
know.
Okay. Well, thank you very, very much, Rebecca. It's
Mm.
an absolute delight to know that you are here as part of this wave of beings. And yes, absolutely lovely to connect in so many ways with you, Rebecca.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Uni.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Una.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti. It happened on that day. You took out your colors and your ink and your clay. You painted a picture formed an image of the one you thought you were. And I was there, the shining memorial. Yes, I was there.